Ladies and gentlemen, it's Glermit here. Welcome back to the channel. I've been busy working, grinding, hitting the gym, doing everything. And I'm here today, guys, because I may have found a counter to Kylo with the new Goth Ray. That guys, that's what we're going to call her. I know she probably already has a name, but I'm calling her Goth Ray. I don't care. Now, I will do my best to explain why this will work in Grand Arena, but I do want to take a second to really say my hatred towards the lack of GAC Omicrons in being able to just really test them outside Grand Arena, because it's absolutely stupid. And testing this team and this counter was ridiculously hard, because the way it played out, I was winning where I shouldn't have been winning, so we'll just have to kind of theory craft where things would have happened differently, guys. And don't panic. There is a very, very high chance this will work in Grand Arena, and I'll be explaining why throughout. So guys, I have about 5 battles, 3 of them are with one team. The other 2 are with other teams. The first one, guys, I did try Lord Vader. Now, guys, before you get going and you say this won't work because, you know, they're going to gain so many debuffs and all of that, I understand. I just wanted to try this one out for myself, so maybe this is, if you've gone up against someone who sets it in TW, this will work perfectly fine, guys. Let me actually just mute the audio for this one. So, you're basically just going to play normally. Now, the benefit of Lord Vader is he's not going to be critically hit. Honestly, guys, this one actually did play out how I kind of expected. My Lord Vader is very low protection, he's high crit damage. That's the way I like to mod him. Now, I don't think you would have had to have bought a 9th. You could also bring Piet here for the bonus offense. Now, here's the thing, guys. This is where the Omicron comes into play. So basically, her unique, the most common one everyone's applying, her second unique, is going to be making it so when she's untargetable, no first order ally can be defeated. Now, the second part of this is whenever they're inflicted with a debuff, they lose 1% turn meter and then gain 1% offense stacking. Now, this is really good because it stacks on top of Kylo's, which whenever they lose turn meter, they gain 10% health stacking. So you're going to be gaining a nice little bit of bonuses there on Kylo's side. Now, the other Grand Arena Omicrons we need to be talking about is her special. This is going to make it so shock can't be dispelled or resisted, and enemies defeated can't be revived. That doesn't matter here. It's also going to make it so enemies with bonus protection or protection up or shield up reduce their max health and max protection by 20% stacking, excluding Galactic Legends. Now, it also gives some health and other stuff to Kylo, but don't worry, guys. And then the final one is her first unique. Now, this one seems to be the one that's not applied as much as the others, based on my knowledge so far. And that is going to make it so all first order allies can ignore taunt whenever they have advantage, which is basically the entire time. Now, that's where the second counter is going to come into play, because it doesn't work. I'm telling you now. I was just messing around, but I do believe there is potential for it to work, and I'll explain why. So, guys, we just play it out now. Here I actually have 5 stacks of Anguish. Now, if you're playing this strategically, right, you're probably going to want to go ahead and do what I did here and push back a cooldown on Kylo. And then you're going to want to go and follow through. And now, guys, this is where you appreciate that in Grand Arena no one would have died, because we haven't all taken turns. And the person who hasn't gone is Royal Guard. Now, guys, my Royal Guard is literally modded 0 speed. So that's why he never took a turn. Anyway, to fast forward for you guys, you will see that we do eventually win. It gets very, very close, so I can see this working in Territory Wars, but I cannot see it working outside of that. Now, guys, moving... Oh, yeah, look how close Lord Vader was to dying. Right, guys, moving on to the second team. So, ignore JMK, ignore Commander Ahsoka. The reason I think this one could work out in Grand Arena, is because Kylo has a bit of a hard-on for GMY, which you're going to be seeing later, guys. And remember, when they have the unique Omicron, they're going to be ignoring taunt. Look at all these buffs, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it's all being reapplied as you go along, especially if you have Arc Trooper in here, because the Dispel is going to be making them reapply it constantly. More buffs means more offense. Maybe it outweighs the mastery decrease, we don't know. But what is interesting is General Skywalker prevents anyone on his team from dying whilst he's standing. There's no protection up here. There are some debuffs, but don't worry about that. And honestly, guys, this is one where I may try it for science on one of my streams. I'm not telling you guys to try it. I think this, without these two, not these two, could potentially work in Grand Arena. If they do ignore everyone, and they go for Rex, or they go for 5s, which is probably what they're going to do. Especially 5s, I reckon they would love to go for this guy. Gas is going to ramp enough to kill them all. That's basically my thought process here. The other thing you could do is, again, you could bring GMY. And then if they do it, so basically, it would need someone to test it. If they go in and they stun Gas regardless, bringing GMY might mean they stun GMY. And that in itself will buy you the time to allow the rest of the team to function. It's one of those weird ones. I don't know if it will work. In my mind, it does. Now, guys, I'm not going to play out the whole of this because they are quite long. I don't want the video to be too long. This is the counter, guys. Only 6 minutes into the video and we finally made it. JMK. Now, guys, I'm going to be explaining every single step and explain why the Omicrons will not change the outcome. Because the reality of it is, I'm going up against a well-modded, high-relic Kylo team with a decent Datacron. I'm just using a Boltcron. And if you just pretend that certain things don't happen, which actually don't impact the outcome here, then the odds are you're going to see that we actually do end up winning. Okay, so, as we know, until we take a turn with everyone, she's going to have her, I don't want to be hit, right? Untargetable. We also know that whenever we apply debuff, they're going to lose turn meter, and whenever they lose turn meter, they're going to be gaining a bunch of offense and a bunch of health. JMK prevents that mechanic completely. There is no turn meter gain, there's no turn meter loss. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about the debuffs, don't worry about anything. It's not going to be a thing to worry about, guys. To read you the wording, whenever a first order ally is inflicted with a debuff, they lose 1% turn meter and gain 1% offense stacking. Now, it will be interesting to see if the 1% offense stacking is related to the turn meter loss. I'm assuming it is because of the wording, but time will only tell. So what you're going to do is you're going to use the protection up, and you know, we're going to talk about that in a minute, on Commander Ahsoka. We need that insta-kill out of the gate. Now, the next thing we're going to be doing is the stun's going to come in. Now, guys, if they had the Omicrons in play, GMY is going to get stunned. Okay? Just bear that in mind. GMY is the one getting stunned, not Mace, not GK, GMY. Now, we're going to swap the turn. Now, you have two options here, guys, and you'll see both throughout the video. The first is we're actually going to go ahead and we're actually going to swap it over to whoever has the least amount of turn meter, which in this case would have actually been Ahsoka. And the reason we're doing this is because if we're going based on Grand Arena, guys, obviously in Territory War and Squad Arena, you can beat these guys now, you can kill them now, we can do whatever we want. But if we're playing by the rules of the Omicrons, you have to wait until she can be targeted, which means everyone on your team's taken a turn. So we're going to pass it to whoever has the least turn meter. And also just bear in mind, she hasn't gone yet at this point. Now, she would go at this point, and you guys will see what she's going to do is she's going to apply a basic there, and then she's going to go ahead and shock us in a second. And there we go. Now, what this shock is going to be doing is, in Grand Arena, this shock cannot be resisted or dispelled, and you are going to lose health and protection stacking because, unfortunately, we've got protection up. Now, I still don't believe this would change the outcome, and you guys will see why I'm saying that. Although 20% is a big amount. So if you're going to mod specifically for this counter, I would say as less health possible on your JMK will mean the smaller amount of health decrease you'll see. Right? It's similar to how like Gas doesn't want any health because he exposes to doing more damage if you have more health on him. Again, just bear in mind, GMY may have already died by now, so you would still have a tank in play. And then Kylo's going to be doing his thing. Now, he would also have speed up, so he's going to be 25% speed. That does make a big difference, so he's probably going to be going before here. Again, guys, don't panic just yet. Now, what you're going to want to do here is you're actually going to want to use his special, right? And I don't know if it's in this footage or the footage after, because I was kind of refining this counter. Guys, I've done this counter already like 10 times, and it works pretty well. There we go. You're going to want to use it on himself. This is the guarantee you get the ultimate off. Now, the alternative opening is you can actually swap the turn back to JMK and do it on him there. And why do you need the ultimate on? Guys, think of JMK versus Leia. You have to have the ignore taunt. Now, as you can see, we still haven't taken a turn with everyone. Mace, buddy, you need to take a turn. Right, there we go. It's coming, guys. It's coming. Also, I'm not doing any of the buffs with Yoda because we're acting as though we have shock. So you can see still we can't really do anything just yet. We need Mace to go. Now, this is where the next team composition will come into play, and I'm actually going to show why I actually prefer that to some extent. Alright, and now, look guys, she doesn't have the debuff. Kylo would probably already be an ult by this point. He probably would have gone before Stormtrooper. Guys, I'm honestly not too worried by this. Now, he's going to go into ult. He's going to be doing a little bit of damage. Now, we would have had the 20% decrease in health and protection, apart from JMK, but for the most part, you can see that we're actually looking pretty good. The other thing you could do, and I didn't do in any of the footage here, guys, is you could actually open up the special on himself. And if I do this off screen, I'll just edit it into the corner and show you guys what I'm talking about. You can do the special on himself, and then what that's going to do is it's going to save the final special, which you then can then use on Ahsoka in this scenario here, because you would already have the ultimate. And once you pop the ultimate, you guys are going to see, yeah, someone is going to die here, guys. Someone is going to die. So if GMY is still here, that's his chance to die. Yeah, actually, you don't even die here, but with the decreases, maybe. Ignore the death, it doesn't make a difference here. Because all it's going to come down to is this. There we go, guys. You get the insta-kill. There's no prevention of this happening in the Omicron. Remember, guys, the Omicron's only preventing anyone from dying before she gets the unavoidable gone, right? So it's gone. We can use it, we can kill her, and then I'm not going to play out the rest of the battle. You should be fine from this point on. You can just go ahead, you can insta-kill her, you can remove her from the game. Also, bear in mind, if you have JMK's ult active, there is no stealth in play either, which is really, really nice. Guys, it'll take a while to click this button. Here we go. Take her out. Take her out. Come on. Take her out. Take her out. Take her out. Come on. There we go. Beautiful. And then we'll just pretend the battle has played out. So, guys, the next version, I actually bought GK. And it was exactly the same. Now, my GK is also 0 speed because I have a habit. It's a personal preference. I enjoy my pre-taunting tanks, or tanks that continuously get taunt back until their turn ends. I prefer them to be 0 speed so we get more benefit from that. Also, I used to have him very slow in the past for the Sith Triumphant raid. No, it wasn't even that raid, sorry. It was for the CPIT raid all those years ago, and I just never really got around to changing it. Anyways, guys, you're going to see we do exactly the same thing. Now, it took a while to do this. We already have the ultimate. We're going to save the insta-kill. We're going to pop the ultimate as soon as possible. And then you guys will see with the ultimate popped, here we go. We're in the right section now. We're going to pop the ultimate here. We're going to probably kill someone off. Ignore that. That wouldn't happen in Grand Arena. Don't panic. And then we're going to use the insta-kill in a second on Rey. Now, just bear in mind... Oh, guys, apparently not. That glitched out. I did apply the insta-kill on Rey. Now, just bear in mind that because of the Omicron, whenever Kylo enters his ultimate, she's going to gain the shock off cooldown. So that is going to cause some problems for the survivability of the team. Again, you should, for the most part, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Even though they're going to have really high damage, you've not been ramping their offense too much, you should be fine. As long as you take Rey out, the rest of the team should kind of crumble. And you can kind of get around it by applying the damage immunity in the correct situations as well. Right, and then the final one here, guys, is we're going to run without a tank. It takes me a while to do this. There we go. We're going to run out of Arc Troop. Guys, you don't need a tank. GMY is your tank. So love how I said that, guys. If you don't have the Omicron on the first unique and there's no ignoring taunt, then don't be afraid. You know, take a tank because they will benefit you. Take Mace, take GK. That is gonna slow them down. It's gonna guarantee Commander Ahsoka doesn't die. But if they don't have that and they have the ignore taunt, don't be afraid. Take someone else. Now I bought Arc Trooper here because Arc Trooper has decent offense, which is quite nice, especially with those assists. Now remember, guys, this would be a locked shock, so don't worry. And then we're gonna have the ultimate in a second. They're gonna be doing all their stuff. Don't panic, guys. Don't panic. And then in a second here, guys, you're gonna see we are gonna be using the insta kill on Rey. As you can see, she's under stealth. We haven't had everyone take a turn yet. My Ahsoka's very slow. So also bear in mind, if you have good mods on your characters, the chances are you're going to find this easier than what I'm making it out to be. So we apply the ultimate. That is also going to be giving you enough bonuses to kind of keep rolling. And GMY is still alive. He may be dead at this point in Grand Arena, but he's done his service to the Republic. The insta-kill's coming in. And yeah, guys, this should be pretty clean. Here we go. Let's see the insta-kill come. Come on. Send it in. I don't know why it took so long. I was in a Discord call, so I was probably just talking. There we go, guys. Love that. That might even be the thumbnail, so watch out for that one. And then the last one, guys, I'm gonna let this one play out. If you can do this counter with Cup in there, then you can probably do this counter with anyone. I did try Shakti. I do believe she has a benefit, but she would have to outrun their Rey. And the reason for that is the speed up. It would enable you to take a turn before she goes because of the 25% increase in speed. Yeah, basically, guys, that is the counter. Here's the proof. I'm going to play out the rest of the battle. Guys, this is obviously just Squad Arena testing. I can't test in Grand Arena because it's not even been done in Grand Arena yet. It's not even possible for us to test until tonight's stream for me, and tomorrow night for lots of other people. So, guys, just bear with me. I really do believe this will work, even with the Omicrons. I tried my best to explain why the Omicron shouldn't impact the battle too much. And yeah, we actually lost GMY in this one, but it doesn't really make a difference because we would have insta-killed her. So guys, that is the battle. That is the counter. I left a couple of other testing and they just show you my thought process, which sometimes worked and sometimes didn't. Anyways, guys, my name is Glurmit. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Maybe share it to a guildmate. Try it in your own Grand Arena. Let me know how it goes. And as always, guys, have a glurming day.